Hello and welcome to OmniDog's Vault Ultimate Spiderdays review with Chat OmniDog, also known as ETL. Cats and Kings is where we are. We are on issues. What issues are we on? 47 through 53?
Yeah, 47 through 53. The Ultimate Spider-Man show.
We're making some good headway on our Ultimate Spider-Man reviews, where we are going to read it all the way through the omnibus that nobody wants us to say the name of, because even though it's been out for 15 years, people think it's a spoiler. I'm talking about Death of Spider-Man. I mean, that's the name of it.
I don't care about spoilers, about anything. I know you're a little more sensitive about it than I am, but certainly I don't care about something 20 years old. But even because if it's not a good story, the end, the surprise ending shouldn't really matter to me. And so if it's done well, or that's why I enjoy rewatching and rereading stuff that I know the ending to. But the spoilers don't really ever bother me that much,
Well, somebody was complaining to Lou, Comics Guide 101, saying you've ruined the ending of Spider-Man for Ultimate Spider-Man for me, and he's like, that's the name of the omnibus.
Yeah,
Death of Spider-Man. What do you want me to do?
And they're really, and I get it. Maybe what was that last Avengers movie? Not knowing the end of that, for a couple weeks, or there's a month, but there is a moratorium of you should be able to talk about everything openly.
I agree with that. Yeah,
you can't. But yeah, you're right. If people want to hold spoilers for 20 years, or who really killed Laura Palmer? You can't say it. I gotta finish it. It's man, that's fucking from the 80s.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, my problem with movies is, of course, all the people that don't want it spoiled, they go opening night. Well, yes. That's my kryptonite, because I hate people and I don't want a crowd. I don't want a crowded theater.
Yeah.
And so I wait 3 or 4 weeks and go during the day. But now is a lot different than 15 years ago or something, because you can't open your phone and without something getting spoiled. So with the latest Star Wars movie, my daughter and I went, she took a day off from work, and I went to with her to the movie on opening day. So, and
was it one of those theaters you can reserve the seat?
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was an Alamo theater, which are really cool. So we reserved seats, and that's the only way I'll do it. During the week when everybody else is at work. Of course, now I'm never going to a movie theater again. So forget that.
There's a few good things about this pandemic that are coming out for me. I hope I never have to shake another person's hand. I don't want to give people hugs.
Right.
And I'm cool with them releasing movies and me spending $30 to watch Mulan. Mulan is an example of a movie I actually probably wouldn't get, but if they released Wonder Woman through HBO Max and charged me $30 to watch that and have it for a month or whatever, I think I'd be in for that.
I'm totally up for that. Your audio is actually cutting in and out. Do you have to have your headphones on? Can you just try and talk to the computer?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see. Give me 1 sec. You do a dance for the fans.
Well, I couldn't really even hear you.
Any of it? I've been saying
I heard you, but it was modulating up and down, and it wasn't. It was kind of a strain to hear you. And we want to know everything that's on your mind. So
I hear it. All right, let me just turn them off. Let me get rid of these.
Well, now I can't. You're muted now. Now you need to. Yeah.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah.
I have a fan going? Is that causing any chaos?
No.
Okay. All right. Now I was saying beautiful things. Backtracking real quickly. What did you think of that last Star Wars movie?
My daughter is a complete Star Wars diehard. I introduced it to her. She has a huge crush on Adam Driver. She writes fanfic that is apparently filthy. She's 29 years old and writes all this filthy fanfic that I'm not allowed to see. And we both left that theater very disappointed. We were. It was. I I liked it because I liked all the characters. I still
Yeah.
like the characters. The problem with those other prequels was that I didn't like any of the characters. I didn't like Hayden Christensen. I didn't like anybody associated with those movies.
Yeah, even Princess Leia, or not Hayden Christensen's wife, Luke and Leia's mom.
Natalie Porter.
Yeah, Natalie Portman.
Amadelia or whatever.
Yeah, and she's a great actress. But man, the way the stilted dialogue that she had to do, and those first the prequels were garbage. I just don't care. I mean, I really like Star Wars, and I grew up on Star Wars, and I read like the Dark Horse comics, and I read the Marvel stuff, and but like the movies, I just have never cared super much about. Like like the one that Ryan Johnson did. I can never. There's 3 newer ones, right?
I don't know anything. Let's see. The Rise of the Jedi or Jedi's The Last Jedi.
Yeah, so there's 3 new ones, right? And they're with Riley or Daisy, whatever
Ridley.
Yeah. So there's like 1, 2, and 3. We'll call them 1, 2, 3 because I don't know the.
Well, let's see. The first one was The Force Awakens. The second one was Last Jedi, and then the third one was Rise of the Skywalkers.
Okay, Force Awakens, I thought was a lot of fun.
I thought it was fun too.
I thought it was a total retread and kind of almost like weird how much it just did the first movie over again, but it was a lot of fun. And seeing Harrison Ford and the new bad guy of your daughter's fanfic, Adam Driver was great.
Kylo Ren.
He's a great, interesting, and anyways, and Poe was great, and the stormtrooper who converted, and the first one was just a lot of fun, really good. I don't understand the love of the second one. Like I actually rewatched that recently, and I think a lot of people forget the weirdness of who's the black guy, the stormtrooper.
Finn.
Finn, yeah. So everyone forgets he goes to this weird planet, and there's gambling, and he sets all these horses.
That was a weird scene.
Yeah, the whole sequence was so bad. It's just bad.
Everything else was great. I like that movie a lot, but that whole gambling planet thing, and they set up that sort of romance with him and the woman he was with.
Yeah.
And they totally ignored it in Rise of the Skywalkers.
Well, that's what everyone's bitches about, like the Ryan Johnson. Some people are ride or die for that movie, and the mythology that he changes and creates with the Force or whatever. And then the third one that we're talking about, that J.J. Abrams did again, I thought was fine. I mean, I thought it was so ridiculous that all these giant Death Stars were being pulled out. I mean, it just doesn't hold up to scrutiny. A lot of it, and like the way the Force heals, and I don't know. I saw it in the theater. I think it came around Christmas. My family, my whole extended family, we all went. It was like fucking 15 of us, and it was. I mean, I don't know. It was okay.
We are going to get to Spider-Man in just a sec.
Yeah,
we're on a Star Wars roll.
The ultimate Star Wars Spider-Man review show.
The best Star Wars movie was Rogue One.
That was great. I haven't rewatched Solo, and that's charming too. I thought it was good.
It's okay, but I really didn't care for him as an actor. I love the twists and stuff in it.
Yeah. The train sequence is really great. I mean, it had some good sequences, and also I know that, but all those new movies and in the Solo movie, Chewbacca looks so great. I don't know what they're doing with the hair or but he looks like, I mean, he genuinely looks like a real creature. And I think the Chewbacca, I'm in love with what they've done with Chewbacca in all those movies. So they had him like all the mud in Solo when he comes out and he's the monster that's going to eat everyone.
Yeah.
I thought he was. I just finished on Disney Plus. I finished what's that cartoon? Clone Wars.
I haven't seen that. Is it good?
It's very good.
I heard it was good.
It was like 7 years or 6 years, and then like they stopped, and then they brought it back and did like a last year just recently. And so I just finished that last year. It's very good. At the beginning of the show, they have a lot of droid humor, and you can tell it's kind of for kids. And they kind of weed that out by season 2 or 3, and it just has a lot of great Jedi, old school Jedi stories. It's very good. Like I rarely will finish something like that, and it has like 2 or 3 episode long arcs, and then they kind of have a season long arc too of like certain bad guy, so it's just it's a pretty solid show. It's just another thing you need to add to your pile of things to watch.
I have heard that people really like it though.
It's very good, yeah.
Yeah.
And have you read any of the new Marvel books? Or
I've read a lot of them. They're good.
Very good. Like,
really good, yeah.
Did you read any of the Dark Horse stuff, like the Clone Wars and the?
No.
And now Marvel is publishing that in I just dropped my reading in epic form,
right.
And I maybe next time I'll bring up the ones I've read. They're very good too. I mean, they're kind of extending the world a little bit, and there's a ton. I mean, if you get all those epics, it's like 30 epics out now.
Yeah.
And there's only going to be more, but it's a little daunting, but it's good stuff.
I love Charles Soule's and is it Kieran Gillen's Darth Vader? Is it Gillen's or
it is Gillen? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, both those Darth Vaders are great. Dr. Aphra is a great invention. I love her.
Yeah.
I haven't read a bad Star Wars book yet, so they might be out there, but I haven't read them yet. Everything I've read so far from Marvel Star Wars has been great.
Some of the standalone, like Lando and there's a Han Solo one and a Princess. They're all okay. Where I think like the Jason Aaron and the Darth Vaders you're talking about, like Star Wars and Darth Vader, are fantastic.
Oh yeah, Jason Aaron Star Wars, yeah.
And some of the standalones are just okay, but they're still good. Like I haven't gotten rid of them. I haven't given them away. Yeah. That's my stamp of approval. So.
Right.
Anyway, so next week on Star Wars, hot Star Wars tweets from the Omni Dogs. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll start talking about Star Wars. Talking about Star Wars.
Star Wars.
So we're talking about Ultimate Spider-Man, and this is book 4 for me, and book what, 8 for you?
Volume 8, yep.
And this came with, and I have to say that I'm starting to really dig the artwork. I know you're a little lukewarm on it, but I'm really starting to dig it.
He had like one page I wanted to show because it's like, well, first of all, it's kind of interesting. The last 2 books that he's doing like 2-page spreads, where the first 40 issues, there's not one 2-page spread, and I don't know if that's a dictate from Marvel or what. They're like,
wow.
And then like there's several in each one of these books, which in a good way. Yeah, I just think his action in the Spider-Man is really good. Like here he's fighting the Enforcers. There's also another page I want to show where he's fighting Black Cat, or
make sure when you hold it up, you leave it up there for a little bit.
Okay. I don't want to tease people.
Yeah. And make sure it's straight.
Well,
I'm just slapping you around today.
Well, now I can't find it, but you can get it off me. I'll find it eventually.
Okay. Well, I'm really digging this art.
Well, I'll just say, spoiler alert. This was maybe my favorite, like, trade paperback of all of them, I think.
Oh, this one is?
Yeah. I mean, I just think it's like, we both agreed that Venom and I have them all right here. Venom and Public Scrutiny are dumpster fires that should be bathed in Diet Root Beer.
I don't know that I hated it as much as
you were the one that said that.
I did?
No, you didn't. I said
I don't think I did.
Yeah, no, I didn't. And again, I'm joking, but like
I'm not afraid to say if I hate a book, but I don't remember.
No, you didn't. I said it. I didn't like.
Oh, right.
And again, I didn't like them on this level of judging on Ultimate Spider-Man World. So like, but I think the last 2 books, but this one in particular, like, so the beginning of this, we have the Enforcers, who are the big guy, the guy with the gun, and the guy with the whip. I don't know their names, and they're like beating up this guy, and they shoot a gun. And then that draws in Spider-Man, and there's this kind of battle between them, just kind of inadvertently, like Spider-Man happened to come upon them.
Oh, right.
And so then we find out Kingpin's out. Kingpin's beaten the murder rap, and he
crazy.
Yeah, so that's the original battle, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about, where it disrupts a card game.
And it's just like, it doesn't remind you of like old school like Spider-Man books.
Yeah.
Just a lot of fun, quippy action. The The one thing I kind of like about this too is like he kind of gets beat up a lot, or he's not like invincible. He's not, and he even says in his book he's not good at punching people. He doesn't like punching people.
Yeah.
So anyway, Fisk is back, not Kingpin. He likes to be called Wilson Fisk, and his lawyer got him out. And Fisk is supporting a guy running for district attorney. I can't remember his name.
Bullet.
That Bullet. Yeah, that's him on the bottom shaking J. Jonah's hand. And this guy is running on an anti-Spider-Man platform. So J. Jonah Jameson loves him and he wants to write this kind of op-ed. Oh, Mary Jane and Peter are back. They have a cute moment where you think that, turn the page, we think they might do it.
Yeah, they're awfully close. The look in her eyes.
I can't wait to see what your daughter writes about these two getting together. Oh, might be the next page. Go on.
Wait a minute. I know what you're talking about, but it may not happen for a couple of.
Yeah. Anyway, Aunt May interrupts them. They're clear. She's on top of him, and this seems like some time is going to happen. There's a flashback. That's a Bullock campaign ad against Spider-Man. So anyway, Bullet is clearly like a stooge being funded by Kingpin to be the new district attorney, and Jameson is going to write like just a puff piece, but then he sends his intrepid reporter Ben Ulrich to interview the guy, and the guy turns out to be a real sleazeball. He's an empty shirt and clearly working for the Kingpin. And so then the detente of this little arc is the enforcers come to threaten J. Jameson to change his tone in the paper and support Bullet. And so then Spider-Man gets fired by Jameson for speaking up against him about Bullet. And then, the covers are great. I think the one.
Yeah, they really are.
And then, so those are the enforcers. They're waiting for Jameson. And then the one thing I thought was kind of out of character is like Jameson's kind of standing there like a buffoon the entire time. He's like dumbstruck and scared.
Yeah.
That isn't quite the Jameson where you like look at the bottom panel there. He's like just standing there like listening to them. And anyway, so Spider-Man's there actually to confront Jameson and call him a weasel for not going to say for firing Peter Parker, but for that in theory. But then he finds out that these guys are messing him up. So then they battle again. Another great action sequence, and then Peter Parker or Spider-Man obviously beats them. And then there's a great moment where Jameson is, I won't get ahead too far. There he is whacking people. Whack. And then, but then Jameson ends up, Peter goes home, and Jameson's like sitting on his front stoop, and there's kind of a nice moment between the two of them.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it.
Keep going. Like Peter beats the enforcers.
Oh, yeah, here it is.
Yeah, so Jameson's waiting there. Well, no, keep going. They see him farther. Like they leave the.
Well, no, then he's talking to Peter.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Oh, that's what you want to see?
Yeah. So then they have a moment, and then we find out that Jameson's son died in the Apollo crash or something, and so that I don't know what that's supposed to mean. He's an asshole because his son's dead.
I think it humanizes him.
Yeah, and so then they have a nice moment, and he gets his job back, and it's well done. It's good art.
And he and Spider-Man and Jameson kiss and make up too, and that's a big moment for Jameson to kiss and make up with Spider-Man. And
then where you're showing it is Spider-Man's confronting Fisk at the dinner.
Yeah,
they have their face-to-face. His Spider-Man's getting better. Bagley I like his Fisk design.
Yeah.
His design and then so this is kind of an interesting book because that's split up, and then we get right into Black Cat. So new arc, and that intro of Black Cat. So you kind of get what I meant about I felt like Bendis's heart wasn't really into Venom, and then you see his introduction of Black Cat. There's lots of intricate, elaborate introduction of her robbing this place, and then even her story. It just seems like he's just way more into it. So I thought. So this intro is Black Cat is I forgot that she has kind of a special power of making other people unlucky. Did you remember the guard's hat flips off and Peter's spider spider web shooters go bad. That's Black Cat's special power.
Oh, she's like the anti-Domino.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
forgot about that.
Yeah. I think
Oh,
I can't remember just because I remember Black Cat in the other universe. So maybe it was a little too subtle in this book.
okay. Well, now a lot of things make sense now. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So anyway, so she steals something from a guy. Like the whole intro book of her is basically like her elaborate heist, which is very well done, I thought.
Yeah, I thought so too.
And not a lot of dialogue, not very little explanation. She doesn't talk at all, and then Peter Parker just happens to run into her as she's leaving. And
Peter Parker or Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. You know they are the same. Spoiler alert.
What?
Spoiler alert. Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
I know, but if you say Peter Parker, we're not thinking of him in the costume.
No, I know. I'll try to be better. But there they are. They battle a little bit. He doesn't quite know what she's doing up there. He's obviously maybe attracted to her in her costume. I don't know, maybe. And so we find out, and then the guy, the Kingpin's involved with this somehow. He's looking for this thing. So she steals like a tablet, a piece of the rune stone, basically from this vault. And so we find out that that's for Kingpin. They're pissed. So this guy, they randomly hire Elektra. I thought the introduction of Elektra compared to Black Cat was kind of much weaker. We don't know anything. I mean, again, maybe we're going to build out more to her. But basically, she's like a hired thug for the Kingpin to kill Black Cat and get this.
Yeah.
The goal is to get the tablet. I don't think they even know Black Cat's involved with it. They just want the tablet.
I feel like you're right. There was like this sort of mystical entrance for Black Cat where she didn't talk during the whole beginning of that arc.
Yeah.
While she's rifling through the office, and she's got these powers, and she's a little bit otherworldly. And Elektra, who is one of my favorite characters in comics, is really just sort of thrown in there. She's just like, yeah, we hired this gal. She's going to do something, and here she is.
Yeah, it's like, my name's Elektra. Is that Greek? And she just walks off. And I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll get more from her, but it is a little tacked on, or it's not too exciting, her intro.
Oh,
go ahead.
Here's the are they going to do it or not scene.
Oh, yeah. Look at those eyes.
Yeah, look at him. Oof.
He's going to become a man. Then Aunt May cock blocks.
That's right, because her father's on the way over. Ultimate cock blocker.
So the other arc of this is like, Mary Jane's dad is introduced, and he is, I would guess, Father of the Year in the running of, and like who I would look to and try to mimic his fathering skills. No, he does everything wrong. He's just a douche on every level.
Yeah, he's douche of the year for sure.
And he's reading her. He brings over the diary and reads the diary. And first of all, I have a 13-year-old son, and he keeps a journal. And of course, we read it, but we never read it. And we also never ever come out, like say something you kind of obliquely try to get into the nuances that's in the journal that you know about, but you don't ever talk about how you got that inkling. So they think you're otherworldly because you're so smart and intuitive of them. So again, bad parenting on his, and so then he threatens to send her to private school. They have to break up. I mean, he's a bull in a china shop. I thought it was done well, and I thought also it's at Aunt May's house. I thought Aunt May was she basically said, "Don't do this here. Get out of my house." And I thought she did that well. He is a giant douchebag, but it was interesting. I thought, and he's according to Mary Jane cheating on her mom, and so it's just not great situation. So then they have to. So now, of course, again, these two, Mary Jane and Peter, can never be happy for longer than like 2 issues. So then they have to act like they can't talk at school. She can't hang out with them. So let's finish out that little arc. And so one point her mom calls and says Mary Jane has left. We don't know where she is. Peter finds her at the warehouse where they went after some battle long ago.
Yeah, let me find that. It's where Mary Jane ran away?
Yeah.
Just a sec. because Peter's falling asleep at school. And then here's the meeting with Elektra. So we don't want to skip over that.
Oh, okay.
She's just meeting the
guy with the glasses.
guy that works for Fisk, like right there in the bottom is her hand. And she just says, give me the money. And here I am in this sleazy bar. And there's no mystical aura about me whatsoever.
Again, as Bagley shows, he gets paid by the dollar not to cover up women's bellies. He can't afford, these women can't afford shirts that go.
Yeah, Elektra needs a few more gigs so she can have a full outfit.
Get like real weapons and a real shirt. So yeah, the other part. And so Black Cat puts in an ad so Peter Parker knows where to meet her. They meet on a roof. She brings wine, and I want to be like, oh, Peter's gonna never tasted wine before. This is gonna go poorly.
I thought this was a good touch that they're having wine and cheese on the edge of a building. That she's interested in him, and
I did too. I thought it was all well done and like and efficient too.
Yeah,
like, move the story along.
It was just sweet.
They're kind of attracted to each other, even though she has no idea what his face looks like. And then before they can do anything, then Elektra attacks them.
Yeah, Elektra is the buzzkill of this party.
Yeah, she's throwing
throwing stars. And then we have like 19 pages of fighting.
Yes.
And Peter's standing around for a while. Oh, sorry, Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man is ineffectual. I think he's enjoying watching the cat fight, possibly. But the one thing is, like, they're both equal. They're Elektra and Black Cat are in each other's ass pretty properly. And then they knock Peter or Spider-Man off the roof, I think, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's on. That's a cool page.
That is. So then she says, I'm not my father. Tell your employer, tell your master I'm not my father, which was the wrong thing to say because
now we know who she is.
Kingpin an idea of who she is and what she's up to.
Yeah, so then fast forward, they find out her name is Felicia Hardy. Her father worked for Kingpin as another jewel thief. I can't remember, I think his name was John Hardy. And he went to jail for Kingpin and then died in prison. And so now she is taking on the mantle of Black Cat and taking that tablet because, not for any other reason except for Wilson Fisk wanted it. So then Fisk and Elektra go to her house, and Peter, Spider-Man and Peter Parker, both of them, figure out that she is Felicia Hardy, goes to her house as Spider-Man. They fight again. Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, throws the tablet into the river, and at the same time, Elektra throws her. Are they size? Is that what she fights with? Size? She throws her sticky thing into Felicia's chest.
Oh yeah, and it looks like it makes a thorough connection.
It reminds you of the Bullseye killing Elektra, Frank Miller panel. Right?
Yeah, here at the top of the page.
Yeah, so it's a little reminiscent of the Bullseye killing, but of course we don't find the body. There's no body, so I feel and hope. And to be honest, I love the Black Cat character, and I hope.
I do too.
So that's how's this end? Is that the end?
That's pretty much the end with Spider-Man looking for Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, and Wilson Fisk talking to his wife.
So look at the wife design. She looks exactly like Elektra. She looks like Elektra in bed.
At first, I thought it was Elektra, and then I realized it was Vanessa.
Again, it's my pet peeve with Bagley. Sometimes. Okay. So the woman in the bed is with Wilson Fisk's, and so he needed the tablet for some sort of spell or something to make
some kind of spiritual fix for her, whatever she's sick with.
And then the Mary Jane father story resolved itself, but basically the dad got kicked out by the mom. Right? Is that
wait? It did?
I thought that happened. Or what? How's it resolved? Oh, they were in the warehouse and they're just going to secretly.
I think Spider-Man visits her in the barn, and
is that the end?
I think that's where it's left for that particular story arc. Let me see where we are here.
You're right.
I haven't seen that the MJ father issue gets resolved.
No, you're right. It doesn't happen.
Okay.
I just assumed it would, but no, and they're very teenagery. They're talking about getting married. I think they're like 15 or 16. It's very. This is the page where, he says, I'm not going anywhere. So they're basically going to weather the storm of the father.
Right.
Giant asshole.
So, yeah. Okay. He finds her. I'm going to be grounded forever. I'm not going anywhere, and that was it. So
yeah. Thinking. I thought maybe the mom kicked out the dad. I was feeling that's where it's going to go, but who knows? There's some very terrible parenting in this Ultimate Spider-Man universe. Gwen Stacy's mom is a giant a-hole. Maybe Gwen Stacy's mom and Mary Jane's dad could get together and go off and be terrible parents with some other family.
That would be awesome.
There's my fanfic.
Well, you have to take that and make it 10 times filthier to
write a giant book on it. Yeah. So anyway, I think this is really good. I mean, we're 50 issues in, past 50 issues in, still solid. I think it's better than it's ever been.
This has been my favorite issues, or rather, my favorite arc so far. This Felicia Hardy and Elektra and Kingpin, and it's very compelling to me. I definitely want to keep reading this, and I'm in for the long haul because I'm digging the art more, and I like the characters. We're finding out more about each character, which gives us, they're fleshed out. It gives us a reason to like them or dislike them, which is a whole reason you want your characters to get a lot of story about what they're like, because you want to relate to them, either to dislike them or like them and say, yeah, I want to see what happens to this person, good or bad.
Yeah, no, it's very well done. And like I said, it's just getting better, which I think it's pretty rare in the comic book world.
It's getting better?
Yeah, a lot of times they run out of steam by 50. So, and we still have like twice as much to go, so.
Yeah. So I really dug this whole book.
Yeah.
Really dug it. And what's up for us next? What's the next run? Do you have that with you?
I do, but let me do my Rex real quick.
Oh my God, are we still doing this?
You have 18 shows on the air. You get to talk about everything you've ever wanted to talk about. I have this one show.
All I ever talk about is comic books, though.
Well, that's what I'm going to talk about.
Okay, good. All right, I'm up for this.
Did you read it? So this is the Nova It's from 2000.
Marvel Now.
Yeah, Marvel Now, 2013.
I have it, but I haven't read it yet. But lots of people like it.
It's very fun. I haven't read all. Like I just finished. This is the other thing. I've been really good about not spending money. I haven't ordered
on anything,
but I haven't ordered anything for my ST in almost 2 months. So much so that like Cameron and Emily like called to make sure I'm still alive. So these last 3 books. This is volumes 4, 5, and 6 done by Dugan, and I haven't read those. I did read the first 3. I guess the volume 3 is by Dugan too, but the volume 1 is by Loeb and McGinnis. And McGinnis, I love as an artist. And there was talk in the group about Jason Aaron's new Avengers run, and it's not super great, but McGinnis does the art, and it's just I don't know. I'm always forgiving of McGinnis books, So, but this is super fun. This new his name is Sam Alexander. He's a new Nova. Did you read the Champions?
I did. I read the first 4 books. I read all what Mark Waid wrote.
Yeah, that was fun too.
I love that.
And this guy's in Sam Alexander's the Nova in those. And so the next one is written by Wells, and then Dugan takes over for the last. And they're just, I don't know. The art is great. The art is done by after McGinnis, then this guy named Medina takes over, and he's just super good.
Can you hold up some of the covers? It's 1 through 6.
This is 6 through 9. So 1 through 5 is the origin by Loeb.
I mean, how many trades are there?
Oh, good question. There is 5.
5. Okay.
No, 6.
6.
So 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
4.
Right there. Hold it right there. Okay.
And then 5 and 6.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to finishing this, and I know I'm going to like it. I love Jerry Dugan, and I like the character. I think it's just a fun new take. I a long time ago I got the Essential. Like, do you remember the Essential lines you get with those, the black and white Marvel?
Yeah.
And they had the Nova, and I started reading the Essential Nova, and it's basically the original Nova is basically like he's like Spiderman, but like with a helmet. You know, he's a high school drama. He's a high school kid, rich writer, and it's just I wasn't a huge fan of it. It's basically like a different version of Spider-Man, like in the '70s, and it just wasn't as good. So
I know the least about Nova. I know more about Darkhawk than I do Nova.
wow, saying a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, so I need to read that book.
I would skip the original '70s Nova. Then once he becomes like the cosmic, because I never knew what they wanted to do with him. He's kind of like Green Lantern, the Nova Corps, and almost like the Green Lantern world. But like in the original, he couldn't breathe in space, and it was like they just didn't have the power set up, and they didn't quite know what they're going to do with him. And so it was just kind of like a light high school drama with this guy had superpowers and could fly real fast. And then once they moved him out into space, and then they invented Nova Corps and stuff. I like that stuff, but I definitely like the recreation of this. So this kid basically gets a helmet. His dad was in the Nova Corps, and I don't think we quite know what happened to his dad. And so, but then he finds the helmet in the garage, and then finds out a little bit like the Blue Beetle. I don't know if you ever read the DC Blue Beetle.
I never read much about Blue Beetle.
The newer one, I don't quite know if it's considered New 52 or, there's that weird time period of DC where New 52 is ending and starting and rebirth. And so they had like this, but they revamped the Blue Beetle, and I've read a lot of it. It's very fun. It was kind of like this little high school power kid. Anyway, so that's my recommendation. Thank you, Jess, for indulging me.
Nice. That's a good recommendation. I want to read that before the end of the year.
You already have it, so you don't have to buy it.
I know. That's what I like even better.
So now this is I don't quite know what your books are. So the next thing, like again, I have all the trade paperbacks. So volume 9 is Ultimate 6. And this, do you remember we had that weird orphaned issue that we were both wondering about? So this issue 46 is in here.
Oh.
And then Ultimate 6 volumes 1 through 7. I don't know. Grab your next hardcover and see what's in there.
Okay. It does not say.
The art is not done by
cover. So it looks like the Doctor of Octors, Doc Ock. And there's a note in here.
Ooh. Jess, please read this. This is a receipt.
Oh, nice. It's from Gabriel Alicia. He gave me books 5 and 11 a long time ago, like 2015.
He's like, "Dear Jess, if you ever do a YouTube show about Ultimate Spider-Man, please read this note."
Jess, thanks for being such an awesome and stand-up guy. You've been a tremendous help with myself as well as other members in acquiring hard-to-find books to complete our collections. You are greatly appreciated, and I hope you enjoy the bonus that is inside the box. And then that was number 11, which back then was hard to find. That was 5 years ago, and 11 was hard to find.
You are really riding on your...
I keep a notebook of these.
That's nice, though. That's sweet.
That is. Gabriel's a great guy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Ultimate 6, Volume 9, as you said, and Volume 10, Hollywood.
Oh, good. So you have so your Ultimate 6 is the next. So
Yeah. Ultimate Spider-Man 46.
Yep.
Ultimate 6 1 through 7.
Yep.
And Hollywood. Okay, wait a minute. What's going on here? So was there a trade series or a separate series called Ultimate 6?
Yep.
Ultimate 6. Is that like the
Sinister 6.
Sinister 6?
Yeah. So like the first page of mine, it looks like this, and it's got a woman being talked to, and then Doc Ock. Is that the first page of yours?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So next time we'll be reading Ultimate Volume 9, Ultimate 6. This looks good.
Including the
Issue 46.
issue 46, the wandering mislaid issue.
Yep, the orphaned issue. So
Orphaned issue, yeah.
that'll be interesting. So that's for next time.
This isn't Bagley's art, is it?
No, he draws 46, but then it looks like Ultimate 6 is drawn by, I don't know.
Oh, Thiebert, Mickey, and Scott Hanna, Joe Quesada. So we get new artists coming in here.
Yeah.
That definitely did not look like.
Definitely not Bagley.
Sorry?
Definitely not Bagley.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like him at all.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'm excited to read this.
Yeah. So that's for next time. If you want to
keep up, good gig.
If you wanna keep up with us, be sure to hit that like button and ask us questions.
Yeah, leave comments. We'll answer them. Feel free to subscribe, hit the like button, and we appreciate your watching. We couldn't do it without you, and we value, excuse me, all my great viewers, our great viewers, and my time for the channel. So thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. Peace and love. Peace and love.
I got you.
And read Nova.